How do you change the case?
with the shift.
Shift.
Hey, Art. Can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you just fine.
There you are. Okay. I got you now.
Okay.
Yep. What happened?
What happened? I don't know.
What's going on?
I'm just recovering from the holidays.
Recovering from.
So where's Jim?
Jim is hiding over there trying to get into his Chromebook.
Oh, okay.
And it looked like I made it. I had to do
Very
control
good.
space to reset my keyboard or whatever, change my keyboard layout, whatever that's supposed to mean.
I don't know. Your Chromebook is getting on the endangered species list, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Really?
sure.
It's an old Chromebook.
Oh,
Doesn't
okay.
get updates anymore, I don't think.
We can check. It says
Testing 1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6.
Okay. Sounds like we're good to go.
check for updates.
Say again.
My Chromebook says check for updates. So I'm checking for updates.
Okay.
Your Chromebook is up to date. Version 76.0.3809.
That is
136, it's official build, 64-bit.
that is definitely not up to date. 76
It
is
says up to date.
means it.
They continue to support a lot of them. They did. Looks like they continue to support me, which works. They're not saying
The
you're not
latest build
supported.
is 96 or 98.
As long as they're supporting this build, I'm happy.
So now with the Chromebooks, what OS are you using?
It's Chrome OS based on Chromium.
Okay. Which is what? Kind of an Android kind of a thing or what?
No, it's its own. Well, I mean, digging deep into it, it's all Linux, but
Okay.
it's its own thing. Chrome OS is based on Chromium OS, which is the open source version. It is a web kind of deal. So there's not
Okay.
really a whole lot of apps that are installed on your device.
Okay.
There's a few. You can do some stuff without being connected online, but most of the stuff you need to be connected online. Newer versions of the OS incorporated more Linux features and more Android features. So you
Okay.
could install actual apps and do stuff offline. But the older versions were still pretty much, it was pretty much an online deal. You had to connect online to do anything.
So by older, what vintage are we talking about?
Oh,
5-6 years for this
Yeah,
laptop.
I would say it's 4 or 5 years at least.
Okay.
Um,
It's pre-COVID, huh?
yeah. I can't really remember. Was it it might have been like 3 years ago. It might have been 4 years ago when they started introducing the ability to add more Linux features into the OS.
Okay. Are they
but
still pushing them into schools?
yeah.
They were, yeah. 2 years ago, I know they were. And they had, it was set up. They had a package, you know, you could get for nearly nothing. You can get a laptop for nearly nothing, and it included the software and everything. Had a package for education. I think it's pretty popular.
Okay, good.
There was a project that was based on Chromium that it was a little tricky to install their image on an old Chromebook, but that's basically what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to replace Chrome OS with their version of Chrome OS and continue support much longer. But even then, some of the older Chromebooks didn't fully support doing that.
So what's the CPU? Is the CPU x86 CPU?
Kind of depends on the model of the Chromebook.
Well, I was just wondering if it was ARM
Yeah.
or,
Celeron, I think yours is a Celeron.
Yeah, probably Celeron.
The Chromebook I bought 2.5-3 years ago has an i3 in it. So
okay. So it's not an ARM then.
no, it's not an ARM.
Okay.
The Chromebooks that had ARM processors in them kind of failed miserably. I mean, and they were early versions of everything. So you probably won't see those anymore.
Okay.
I mean, unless maybe you go on eBay and look for one, but I don't know why you'd want to, because it would be so out of date that it would be hopeless, probably. You probably
So-
couldn't even put Raspberry Pi OS on it or anything.
So where did you guys get these? Did you get them from Google or where'd you buy them?
I bought mine at Best Buy.
Oh, okay.
You could get them pretty much any computer store, even Walmart. I mean, Walmart has them.
Kenny got one 2 years ago off of eBay for $35, and he didn't want to do that, so he gave it to me. So I got a $35 Chromebook. Hey, and these work good. The problem I had with this one logging in today was they had an odd numlock or a caps lock thing, and I forgot how it worked. I was having trouble with the password, but after I got over that, you know, it boots up, it works fine every week, so can't complain for what I do. It's great. And I got another one, Kenny's, for $35. It sits at home, and when I want to use it, I'll flip it up and use it for Chromecast to Chromecast with.
The current version of Chrome OS is 96.0.4664. Yeah,
Yeah, as long as
Okay.
they support it, I don't care how out of date it is, still works. It works. They support it. They threatened to discontinue support on them. And Leroy was telling me, I said, they cannot do that. They cannot do that, not with Microsoft supporting crap for 10-year-old crap. This was like 5 years ago. Said they can't do that because I just bought a brand new one. I bought a new one like 4 or 5 years ago. I would be done with them if they obsoleted that. I paid $100 and something for that, you know. No, they do that to me, I'll be done with them. And sure enough, they kind of said something about it not being supported one time when I tried the update, but they came off of it real quick. because they had probably 100,000 of them at schools, you know. Go
Yeah.
ahead and drop them, see how long you last.
Yeah,
They big, but they ain't that big. Microsoft learned it when Windows 10 came off. Microsoft started talking about dropping stuff, and now they're talking about Windows 11 talking about dropping stuff. Go ahead, see how long you last.
yeah.
You just can't do that. I'd be done with them, either one of them. I got, 6, 7, 8-year-old laptops now that run Windows on. They fine.
Well, some of the older Microsoft operating systems, I'd say good riddance. Okay.
But you end up with, people say that, but everybody's got a Windows machine somewhere. Sorry, that's just a fact.
This is true.
They can lie about it, but they don't. They gotta have a Windows machine. It's hard to get rid of.
Well, considering that most machines come with some version of Windows in them,
Yeah,
even if you set them up dual boot or whatever, they're basically buried there some places is Windows OS.
yeah. And some people, try to go Linux full and fine, and they do, but most people, their needs are such that you end up having to have Windows for something. So they buy a Windows box and put something else on it. Even Steve booted up Windows the other day. Yeah, you had to. Oh, we had his old laptop. That's what he had. You had to trying out that box he brought in.
Well, there's some applications just won't run on anything but Windows. So
Yeah, and people are still writing for Windows, and some people write for Linux. More and more people are writing for Linux too, but they're not dominating enough. Microsoft's got a hold of this place. It's interesting.
so
Me and my security software, it only runs on Windows, and it's the best, and it's free. It only runs on Windows. Even Leroy said it does only run on Windows. There are some Linux packages, the real link stuff. I think that they will run on Linux.
yeah, I've got some.
But it's still not as versatile as iSpy and free.
So can you run that on Wine on Linux?
The
iSpy, I doubt. iSpy is such a, you need some horsepower to run it.
I want to say no. I think when I tried it, I was running into driver issues.
Ah,
It's bizarre. It's bizarre. It uses screen calls. You can have 30 different screens on your screen, and they're all doing different stuff and a different lineup on the bottom of it. And it talks to any camera, just about any camera you can run off of iSpy. And it's difficult. And they do use the Microsoft library, or who's somebody's library? Who is that? .net. .net. I think it uses some .net stuff.
One can use .net. I don't. I remember trying it, but it was a few years ago. I think I ran into a driver issue or something. It was weird. It was a weird. And I think even after I uninstalled it, it never really completely uninstalled. And
Yeah.
I think part of it still remained on my system.
Yeah, when I was running 10 megabit Ethernet, it would run, actually 100, it'd run 10 or 100 megabit just to service the cameras. Okay, now since then, it's .265 has moved in and .264, and Reolink just cut down the IO tremendously. I used to run 10, 15 megahertz out the Ethernet port, and that was just to the cameras. And now it runs 180K to the camera. That compression really works good. Oh, this thing, I'm getting it together.
Is that the tuner?
Yeah, that's the tuna. I've got one of them together. It's winding your own coils. Ooh. And also they have some bad instructions in it. It's kind of like not the best kit, but I got it. I was busy.
You mean the Chinese to English, back to Chinese, back to English again instructions?
No,
Yeah,
they go-
not terrible. There are 4 or 5 people. You can go look and see how they put them together. But it's
So
it's not easy.
what's this, Jim?
It's an antenna tuner.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you talked about that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's a kit. It's got.
I mean, you
So this is a down on the metal solder kind of thing.
it's a toroid. The main piece of it is the toroid that you wind yourself. You put 10 windings through it, and then you do 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 1. It has a 12 position switch. Then you solder it to the 12 position switch, and then you have a couple of capacitors, variable capacitors.
Well, this is how good. There's no holes in the box anywhere. You get stickers.
Yeah,
You have to drill your own holes.
yeah,
So you put the stickers on and drill through the sticker or what?
you can.
That's what it looks like. Yeah. Looks like this sticker is actually a little bit bigger than.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger, kind of center it. The stickers are pretty decent, I must say.
Is that metal or plastic?
It's plastic. It shouldn't be hard to drill through.
It's watertight. It's got a seal around it, rubber seal you stick in the seam.
You got stickers with center holes where you drill through. 'em.
Okay. So this is watertight, so you can put it out in the weather then, I take it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, well, they're made for QRP rigs. This thing is rated at 10 watts, I think. Maybe 15 on a good day.
I don't really think you'd want to stick this out in the weather, in a real weather.
Oh, you'll see, it's got a seal in it. It's got a rubber seal. It's built with a seal all the way around it. It would hold the weather out pretty good.
Yeah, except around the
Yeah, except around the whole thing.
around the hole.
Yeah, you'd want to put a cover over it probably. But yeah,
I don't.
other than that,
Maybe if it was raining or something, you'd be all right. But in the actual weather,
yeah.
I don't think you'd want to.
That's
And he got a dummy load too.
That's a 20-watt dummy load. Now, actually, that thing has a dummy load in it, and it has a SWR type meter. It's not a meter, it's a light bulb, LED, and you dim the bulb. And it's similar to the old transceiver circuits, where you tune it to best reception.
Uh-huh.
And that matches the impedance. It would probably improve your reception, by the way.
Yeah, that's.
It matches, it's an impedance match. And the guy showed it and actually made a couple of contacts. One guy made 17 contacts. Yeah. But, if you got a VK1 call sign, people are going to find you. You don't have to look too hard.
So VK1 is what, Canada?
I think that's Australia.
Australia, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would guess that you don't have too much trouble finding a willing listener or you communicator or whatever if you're in Australia.
Yeah. But a
Although-
lot of the guys running the Park Service thing, they make a lot of contact.
Yeah,
With
Australia.
with that rig, yeah, with that rig that you got, they make a lot. And this guy in Arizona made like 17 contacts in an hour. Boom, and off he had a battery in it. Jeez, you probably sent me that one, but yeah.
Well, so what's the antenna power on that?
It's I think it's rated at max of 10, probably 5 average. They're QRP, they're rated as QRP rigs.
Okay. And you're using what, CW or SSB or what?
Single sideband and CW, single sideband. Yeah,
Okay,
FT8, whatever you want.
really?
Yeah.
but it does
Cool.
talk single sideband, upper
It,
sideband, lower sideband.
The microphone that comes with it is not great, but it'll do it.
It's made to carry out in the field with a pack. And some of them have built-in lithium batteries. And this guy was testing one and he was out there for an hour with a lithium battery pack. Boom. And that's what they're used for. And it looks like a lot of fun.
What bands?
80, 60, 40, 20, 15, 10, and some more.
Did you say 30?
No,
30, 30.
So it's NEHF stuff.
It's it just touches 6 meter.
Oh, it does touch 6 meter. Okay.
It doesn't work well, but that may be my antenna.
Okay.
My antenna is still a long wire inside the house and does not work well. But
now these have a dummy load in it. So, yeah, it's not bad.
there's it just touches 6 meter. They say it barely works on 10 meter, which from my experience, that is probably true. I did actually hear some CB chatter on it, so that
I didn't know you
does
could
work.
tune down that low.
Yeah. It sounded like it was off frequency, but it was there. You could.
Well, it could be.
Well, you could hear what they were saying, but they sounded like they were at least 5 kilohertz off, 500 kilohertz off where they should be.
High
But that-
speed,
It could have been the radio, it could have been them, who knows?
Well, they kind of wander up into 10 meters sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
Just
I
saying.
know, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they were not
I mean,
where
if
they
you-
were supposed to.
If you look at what they're selling at the truck stops, it's 11 and 10 meters,
I'm
okay?
pretty sure they were not where they were supposed
Yeah.
to be. But they were, it was closer to CB band than it was 10 meter band, so.
Okay.
well, I thought the FCC stole the 11 meter band away for CB.
No,
It's like what, 27 megahertz, something like that.
so you've got, yeah, 11 meter is 27 megahertz, but 10 meter, that's still ours. That still belongs.
Yeah, but I thought that
And
when
a lot
they,
of the radios, though, if you go to the truck stop, a lot of them are 10 and 11 meter, and truckers don't really care where they're at. They just tune to something, and
Nobody's been paying a lot of attention around here quite a while. Not that they ever did, because I knew a FCC inspector, okay? And he acted interested in them, but that was 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah, unless they're causing big problems, they're not going to do much about them.
And these days, they don't need the big amplifiers they used to use. They used to use some bad. My neighbor sold one with an 813 tube, which was it wasn't a Pinto, it was a 4, and you shouldn't use that above 18 megahertz ever. 813.
I'm almost positive that the guy that I heard in the CB band was running power that he shouldn't have been running, and he was in between channels. I mean, that's just the way it is. He was just in between two channels.
Sure, he's got a VFO, yeah, and you get a nice clean amplifier. It's cheap these days.
He kept saying he was from Cincinnati, and I'm like, yeah, probably. He was the only one I heard. I heard some on my SDR dongle. I did actually hear the truck drivers, but you know, that's a little bit different. They were actually on frequency. I couldn't hear them with the radio that you had though. I could only hear this guy that was running power, which I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means actually.
That's why I need an antenna tuner. Yeah.
Technically speaking, it is not supposed to do anything in that band according to the documentations, but I say that if you key it up in the 27 megahertz band, it's going to key up and let you talk.
Typically on all the ham rigs I had, like I had the FT101, the Yaesu FT101, it's whatever band you want to put in there. You had to put a set of coils in there in the transmit section, and it could receive anything, just like this thing can supposedly receive anything. But the transmit, you need the coils in there.
So if you go below the 60 meter band, or is it the 80 meter band? If you go below one of those bands, it definitely just drops out. Nothing, even though I know there's stuff down there.
If you go to 160 meters, there's not 160 meters, there's not going to be a lot down there. It starts about 1.6, 1.8.
It won't go down that far. But
oh yeah, it's probably your antenna situation.
no, it's the thing. You could hear it. It actually cuts out all the coils or whatever that's in it. It does not go down that far. And even though it will tune up into the 2 meter and the 440 band, I have never heard anything up there, and I know there's activity up there. So I'm not so sure that it will go up that high either.
Yeah. What you're going to have in the thing is you're going to have a low pass filter, which is going to try to knock all that upper stuff out, and that's intentional to get the harmonics down.
I think it's more or less what they claim it to be, somewhere between 3 megahertz and 50 megahertz, and nothing in between.
Yeah.
Well, nothing outside of those.
But the receiver is an Arduino. That is the receiver.
Really?
They've got a
it's an SDR built out of thingamabob,
built out of the Arduino
with a I forget what that chip is now. It's a crystal radio kind of.
And they've got a synthesizer.
Synthesizer, yeah.
Yeah, it's
radio.
just a little kit, a synthesizer, and that just gives you the frequencies.
Yep.
And the stupid Arduino is doing all the receiving. The stupid product detector, which is diodes, is doing the conversion and the Arduino's doing the rest.
It's an SDR. And it's about as cheap as you can get with both transmit and receive.
$100.
So this is a special shield that goes on the Arduino?
No, this is a special kit completely. Hang on, I'll see if I can find one. I'm pretty sure I posted about it, or I know Jim posted about it in the forum. That is not what I wanted. It's called a micro SDR.
Micro SDR, yeah, or SDX, something like that. Micro SDR.
And instead of micro, it's the symbol for micro,
Yeah, the mu.
the mu.
This is somebody from QRP.com built a QRP transceiver for single band, and then somebody else said, oh, I can add a VFO to that. And they did. And there's SDR, and somebody added they built a little synthesizer, frequency synthesizer board, and they slapped that in with a SDR receiver, and boom.
This is the one we've got right here. There were a whole bunch. We put a whole bunch of links somewhere. QCX. That's
In the meeting announcement today, there's a bunch of information on it. It's been around for a while. Yeah.
they've changed the filters. Our filters only go up to 3,000. They've changed the filters.
Hmm.
That might be a good thing. Might be a bad thing. Who knows?
So I've got the coil wound and mounted on the switch, and now it's got another little tiny toroid in there to step up the voltage for the LED, and I've got to put that in. It was marked backwards. They said this is backwards. The 2 turns goes on that side, and the 5 turn goes on this side. And I went and okay, so I turned it around. Guess what? Mine is correct. So now I had to take it out. I got to put it back in. But I'm getting closer. It's a pretty good project. You have to have patience. It's very entertaining. If you like to put stuff together, it's not bad. Practice your French a little bit. Yeah, 80 mega 328p. Yeah.
That's one of the projects. So
Yeah, this is the original QCX
Yeah.
SDR. Yeah.
you could build this yourself. It's just probably easier to buy it already built.
Well,
Yeah.
what you do is you get all the parts, so you don't end up with one part missing.
It's
Hey, Mike.
How you doing?
Good.
It seems like there's a lot of coils that you need to wrap and other things that
Oh yeah. Yeah, the original
probably most people don't have patience.
the
to
original
do.
unit was a SDR, and then they added a little transmitter on it, a QRP transmitter, a little oscillator thing. And then somebody said, I can generate single sidebands using the SDR, the 80 mega. And they did, and they took it, somebody stole the circuit and then started producing them. They really didn't release it for public use, and boom, the Chinese put kits together to start selling them, and boom. not a shabby little box. People
Well,
don't like them as base rigs because they're really made to be portable QRP rigs to carry out in the field.
I assume these are all FCC approved,
Yeah.
right?
You know, was your all your transceivers FCC approved? I never saw a FCC sticker on it.
Vicente.
Vicente, okay.
They show the specs on them and the harmonic radiation and all that's supposed to be decent.
Vicente,
Hi, hello.
Hello.
I need that car. I need that car behind you, Vicente.
Which one?
You've got the Batmobile back there.
Ah, yes. I forget.
You've got it.
Yeah, I still have it. Okay.
You've cropped it out and
Oh,
made
you
it
have
your
it.
own. Anything
Yeah.
going on, Mike?
Hi, Mike.
Hi,
Hi
How are
there.
you?
can you hear me? I can hear everybody.
Yes,
Yeah, we can
No,
hear
we
you.
can't hear you.
loud and clear. You can start singing.
The last few weeks, it's been art, you know. We can see you, but we can't hear you. Now we can hear you. Good.
Yeah, I found out what the problem was.
What was it?
Operator error.
Yeah, you could say that. No, on the other machine I was on, which is off to my right here. I don't know, for some reason or another on that desktop, there's a little itty bitty in the upper right-hand corner that says basically mute the sound. It's, you know, this is an XFCE4 desktop, which is my standard operating system desktop. And I have never seen that icon before, and it's about the size of a pinhead.
Well, no wonder.
And I just by dumb luck happened to flip across it, and all of a sudden the sound came on. And I
You
thought,
had your headset on and you were talking into one mic and you were listening with the other, you know.
well, the upshot of it is, I have never, ever, in any of the versions of XFCE desktop, seen that icon before. So I drilled down a little bit, and sure enough, it's a mute button. Why it was put there, I can't imagine. It makes no sense, but it was a mute button. And once I unmuted things, you know, everything worked fine.
Once you figured out it was there, it's all okay.
Well, yeah, and I'm not convinced it's been there all along. I think this is some feature that was put in on one of the releases of XFCE4. So at any rate, but I haven't bothered to move my camera back to the other machine. And probably what I should do is just buy another camera. But, you know, well, they're so cheap these days that, you know, the 30 or 40 bucks, you can get a decent webcam. So, you know, it's hardly worth crawling under the desk and banging your head around and so forth and so on, trying to unconnect from the back of one
I
tower and connect to the front to the back of another tower. So
I agree completely. I had the same thing this morning when I unhooked the laptop. I said, I am not crawling under the desk again to get the power cord. I just went in the closet and got another Mickey Mouse power cord and said, I will just unplug the brick and bring the brick with a new Mickey Mouse cord.
yeah. Well, if you're like me, I've got about 25 of those Mickey Mouse cords laying around from various hardware that's long since
Yes.
in the landfill or wherever it goes. But
There's probably maybe 6 or 7 of them hanging up on my cord rack. And I just said, why am I killing myself every week unhooking this thing when I could just leave the Mickey Mouse plugged in and bring what I need to bring?
well, in my case, for some reason or another, once I get under a desktop, I have this sudden urge to bang my head on the bottom of it. I had a client, I still have him, who this is lady who owns this company that I work for. When they set up the office about 15 years ago, she was enamored with these desktops, with this office furniture that was all wrought iron and glass. The desktops were all glass, which caused another problem. And it was all wrought iron underneath. I have permanent scars in the back of my head from trying to install stuff. The other half of it is that if you take a mouse and run it over a glass desktop, optical mice don't work very well on glass desktops. So, but I don't think she's ever going to get rid of them. So I just avoid getting under the desk as much as I can.
What do you got, Vicente? I saw it.
I finally bought your kind of robots. You know, this is the cute bot.
Oh, yep. There it is. That's
Now, does that have a camera on it or not?
It's the simplest robot I found just to make my experiments about the robot that follow different grades or grade.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking about to use a sensor to detect the gray shade, gray shades. I mean, different. Look, I'm working on it now. You see the different grays.
Yeah.
From white to black, right? The idea is that create like a driveway using colors between black and white, and create different zones where the robot, if the robot reach a gray zone, turn right. If the zone is light gray, turn left, and so on. You know, if the zone is white, go straight.
So this is not controlling the speed, it just controls the direction.
Yeah, but actually control the differential speed of the robot is always moving, but you change the relative speed of one wheel.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Okay, so you go to the right or to the left, but you are always moving. The idea is to.
Your focus is off, Vicente. Try to refocus.
There you go. That's good.
This is the keyboard. Okay, it's a 29-box robot. Use the microbit controller from BBC England. I will use the microbit for my experiments. Finally, figure out how to use it in the Arduino environment instead of using the blocks that they use for kids, you know, to make software. So I am experimenting with the sensor. This is a line sensor. I don't know if you can see you can see this is the sensor, but it's a line sensor, and I remove all the components from the board and put a couple of values to use the sensor as in an integrator, as a light integrator.
Uh-huh.
So you can measure analog values of luminance or intensity of light. So you can identify different shades of gray using this sensor. I can share I made an experiment today. Let me find the
Now, the sensors are just silicon detectors, photodiodes?
yes, it's a photo sensor. It's the common detector used for lines, black lines in paper for robots.
Okay.
So I will show how I did in a single picture. I will show everything. Just give me a second to find the picture. Okay. Here. Okay, let me share the screen.
You should be able to.
Share screen.
Okay.
Can you see something?
Yep.
Do you see this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this was an experiment with a sensor that is very tiny. Under this piece of wood, there is the sensor. I am using this sensor used to have 100K in this position. So when the detector see a wide area, there will be here a value about logic 1, you know. But I changed the resistor by a capacitor, so now it is an integrator. Okay, so you will integrate the value. Can you see this in this part of the picture is the scope, the screen of the oscilloscope. I discharge the capacitor using this pin as an IO pin. I put a 1 and made this capacitor to go up to VCC. It means discharge the capacitor. Okay, go to the VCC, the capacitor. Then I change the pin to input and use it as an analog input. So the light is integrating and the capacitor is changing the value linearly depending on the intensity of the light. You see different values. This is the Arduino plotter, data plotter, and you see the different values with different cardboards. So you can identify different grays. Okay. The idea is to create like a zone where the robot is moving. For example, in the number 3, if the robot see gray number 3, it go straight all the time. Okay. If see the number 4 turns to the right or to the left, and if see the number 2 turn to the right. So it will move, trying to keep all the time in the number 3. So you can make different patterns with colors and make the robot move around in those areas. Okay.
So what wavelength is the detector looking at?
The detector is facing down.
Yeah.
To the table. It's an infrared sensor.
Okay,
So it emits infrared light and detect the bounce of this is the detector, you see?
yeah,
It emits infrared light, bounce in the gray tone, and come back as a current proportional to the bouncing light. Okay, so you have an integrator. I think the integration will be fast or slow depending on the rate, on the amount of light that is bouncing. This is the first sensor I use, but this sensor is very picky with the distance. I showed the first experiment. I was hitting, you see this picture? I was hitting the sensor in different, over different grays color, and you see that it changed the value. So it's not good if you have a rough terrain and the distance change a little bit, the value will be changing also. So I changed the sensor for a new one that is like a half an inch distance and is more immune to the movement. So it's more stable. Okay. And this is the new sensor I am using. Let me look for the this is the new sensor I am using. You can see you see this is the standard reflective sensor for Arduino. So I am using this sensor, but I remove all this stuff from the board. I reproduce the same. This is the original circuit in the board. I change everything and make just a simple circuit. Let me show. I made this circuit with the new sensor. This is the old sensor was a tiny one. The new here, and it's more immune to the distance. It's better to use in this with a robot that is moving around. So now it's more stable.
and in fact, this IR makes it immune to ambient light then.
Yes, I try with different flashlights, trying to change the value, and it's very robust, doesn't change at all.
Very good.
It's very nice. You can change I am using red and white light. This is a red light and this is a white. And I am trying to disturb the signal and nothing happens. It's very, very robust. It's very... So now I already have the sensor, already have the technique to measure different grades of different values. So now I need to use the microbit and this robot. And I'll be showing how it works the next week in the library, I hope. I bought different I went to Walmart and bought like a book that has different gray colors. It costs $5, and you have 6 of each one, like a notebook. So now I can create like a track with different colors and make the robot go straight, turn right, turn left. And I need to experiment with different combinations and see how the robot moves around in different shades. But that's what my idea several months ago about a robot. I hope it works. I need to make it smooth, the movements of the wheels, just to change a little bit one speed with respect to the other, just to make the robot turn a little bit in one direction or another, and see what happened. I made something. I made the first.
So did you not end up getting one of the DF robots?
What?
The DF robot McQueen?
I bought one McQueen.
Did you end up getting one?
It arrived yesterday.
Yep.
This one, right? But I didn't open it. This is the McQueen
Yeah,
Plus.
the new model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will open it.
Because I'm curious as if you could get that to work with the same code that I have for the old one.
Okay. Well, I will work with you in the future with these robots and try your libraries and see how it's going.
Yeah.
Let me share the screen again to show something.
Yeah.
You see this? This is like a track. Okay.
Mhm.
One of the possible tracks. Imagine that the robot each time see this shade of gray will turn to the right. Okay. When see this gray turn to the right, and when see white turn to the left. So it will move to the right, to the right, to the right, reach one of those regions, and try to move to the other one, and will oscillate until reach this gray zone again, and turn around all the time again, and we'll do the same in the other straight segment. So that's
Cool.
the idea, to figure out how it will perform in this scenario. And I am thinking different combinations of, for example, if you have a single sheet of paper of this color, the robot must be turning around all the time in the same direction. You see?
It just goes in a circle.
Exactly. The idea, this is a, I mean, this is a strong right turn, but this will be a soft right turn, right? So it will go oscillating about this region until reach the new gray area, and will turn around, and we'll do the same over here. That's my idea of a track for this kind of robot.
Cool.
Okay. So that's what I'm doing. Well, I was working a lot of stuff, but today was a painting day. I was painting the kitchen and the dining room for tomorrow. So it was very busy.
Is this a tradition on New Year's Eve or what?
I still have paint in my hands.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, it's a tradition in my family to have a dinner and champagne and celebrate the beginning of the new year.
Oh, I thought it was a tradition to paint the kitchen.
No. This is a tradition invented by my wife. So I was very busy today. Also just arrived this thing. It's a microbit adapter. It's like a,
Oh, yeah.
you can plug jumpers in this area in the microbit to experiment with the microbit. Before you put the microbit in the robot, I need to check the sensor using the direct connections to the pins. So That's it. I see, Leroy, you have a lot of robots in your table now. Are you planning something?
I was messing with this one because of, you know, you asking about it,
Yeah,
but
you were working with these robots a long time ago, right? You made libraries and
2019, somewhere
yes,
in 2019, yeah.
but
But
I
this
think
is a-
that is the cheapest and tiny way of work with robots. Just can experiment with them.
Yeah, this was this one was like the second version of the Muck Queen. So
Okay,
you've got one that's even updated more than mine,
yeah.
but I took and replaced the microbit with the banana pie.
Uh-huh.
So
I also bought a couple of boards with the same format of the microbit, but with the ESP32.
right,
I think will be more powerful, and you can make like over the air programming instead of chasing the robot to change the program. You can do it remotely. I think it's better to work this way. You have the robot in the floor, and you make a new program and just update and see how it performs without plugging and unplug all the time. Each time you make an iteration.
so that's what this is. It's an ESP32, and
Okay.
even this is like a previous version of like the new board that you wanted to buy. So
Okay.
But it doesn't do much because I just wanted to see it work. So it just spins.
Nice.
And then blink, blink, blink. But
I
there's no
I
reason.
saw in your library you made a lot of sounds, right? You have
Yes,
a
there's-
pre-made sounds. Yeah.
Still looking at that camera.
yeah, but the microphone's over here.
Mhm. Nice.
And the buttons work, you know, obviously A and B button. The thing, you know, that it's got that extra little processor on the board for the robot that talks I2C. And so that's what I wanted to make sure that being the ESP32 could talk the same I2C to this thing
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
and work. And of course, you know, it does. It wasn't that hard to make it work. Everything else should work because everything else is pretty simple, you know.
Yeah.
Blinking the lights and all that. All you needed is the right pin numbers for it.
I just miss the encoders, you know, to make more precise turns.
Yeah.
But
You know, this one doesn't have encoders on it, so.
none of this. I bought three robots. The other one is from Amazon. Is this one?
I can't see it. Wait. I gotta fix it. I can't see it.
You see?
We are seeing you, Vicente.
You see my?
I gotta fix it.
There we go.
Is the same
Yeah, same idea, same
Same,
kind of
yes.
deal.
$29, free shipping.
Vicente's getting into all these tiny robots now.
Yeah.
I was messing with these things a few years ago.
Yeah. No.
This one here, though, Sorry, I can't see. Me now.
So they cost 29 without the microbit.
Yeah. Without the microbit.
Yes.
So they,
They are teeny, tiny, so can be used in the table and see
right. That's
your
why I
program,
like them.
how it does, how it performs.
This one here, you guys probably remember this one,
Yes, yes.
but this one is actually an updated model. It's got more IO
This
on
is
it.
an M5 stack, right?
M5 stack, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Very
not doing
nice.
anything important
Most
either right now.
In any direction.
I just wanted to make sure that it works the same way as the other one. Because, you know, places had to change stuff, but this one's got more, this one has more available IO on the board coming off of it. So I could plug more sensors in or
Yeah.
do some stuff.
And
then
it's
they added
Lego
this
compatible,
connector
right?
thing. Do what?
You can put Lego blocks on it.
Right. They added this extra Lego block connector,
Okay.
which they 3D printed, which is kind of cool. It's looks like they used one of the resin printers to do it.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
But it's not doing much. It just goes back and forth really. Because I wanted to make sure that it worked. It actually works better than the other one. I don't know what I think they must have changed something about how the wheels are placed or something. Because it seems like it holds the table better than the other one did. But that's what I've been playing with this week. I've been watching the granddaughter all week because she's not in school this week because
Christmas break.
it's Christmas break. And so I don't get a lot done because she wants to play Minecraft constantly. I spent 12 hours playing Minecraft this morning. How anyone could play Minecraft for 12 hours, I don't know.
Leroy, let me share the screen for a while.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, let me point down. Okay, there.
I'll make you full screen actually. There you go.
Screen. Share. Okay. Can you see something? No.
What are you doing? There you.
There we go.
No, but can you see the image? No. How I can expand my video thing?
I don't know.
You can see the image here.
Where's your Zoom? I don't know if that will work either. It's okay. You spotlight it.
I want to show the experiment.
You want to show both what you're doing and
Yeah, but
I'm not sure you can.
no way of show both things, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure you can.
Unless I use my camera. No, it's no, but okay. Well, anyway, you can see this This is the Arduino plotting thing. I will change the gray,
yeah.
the grays, okay? This is lighter, and this is the white, is the last one, white. You see how
Cool.
it detects different levels?
What was the big dip there at? Well, it's getting ready to go off the screen. There's a big dip. And then it goes right up.
I don't know.
It's some kind of an overshoot, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like there's a few big dips and then it goes right back up.
Okay, so now you see this, what I was doing this, just moving the different
Oh,
colors in front of the sensor, you see?
Maybe it's all the brown then.
well,
Well,
it's probably the gap between the cards.
Yeah, so. it's
Ah,
all-
yes, the gap between the cars produce a, like a
Like a dip.
dip, yeah.
So it's seeing the brown. It's recognizing the brown, but not
Yeah.
really.
Well, it's the amount of light that it reflects. That's it.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So there is no way to share this image with the I don't know, the plotter or whatever I want to show. Doesn't work.
I think you'd need,
Need two cameras, right?
Yeah,
I would think you'd need
Ah,
two
okay.
camera, or maybe like with OBS studio software where you.
no,
can
but
do-
with two cameras will be easy. I just put the other camera in the other screen.
Yeah.
I share the other screen and move the graphic over the camera image.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think two cameras would be easy, like
Yeah.
studio software like OBS, you could do multiple streams.
I will try.
But I don't know of any way to do that just easily with
Yeah.
Zoom, so.
But I have another camera exactly like this one. I will put it in the other monitor and we'll experiment. It's better to. The problem is that in the library you need to move all the stuff, and it's not easy to show some experiments.
Yeah,
Here also, you have the oscilloscope.
you could make a little video or something. To
Yeah.
share the video,
Well, yes.
but
Let me show the oscilloscope, how it behave. There.
okay.
Okay,
Mm,
there you go.
you see something there, right? But okay, I will change this is the table, and this is a white. You see the white?
Yep.
This is the integration, is faster.
Yeah,
This is white. This is a light gray. This is the table. And the black is this one, black. Black is the worst slope. Okay. This is black table. This is white. See? And this time here is the discharge of the capacitor.
Okay.
I put out one in the port and force the capacitor to go up. Then the pin comes as an input and use it as an analog input. and wait for 600 microseconds and measure in this point the value. And I am subtracting 1024 minus the sampling value to make the white the highest number and the black the lowest number, because the ramp is inverted. So this is the, you can see the sensor. I don't know. The sensor. I have to control it because I was using the first one. The first one I was using MicroPython, but MicroPython is not good to control directly the pins. So sometimes it has glitches and behaves strange. So I decided to go with Arduino C++ in this one. And now it works very nice. It's more predictable. So,
Nice.
Cool.
okay. That's it. What is this little bottle in the table?
Do what?
There is a small bottle
There's a
with a
bottle.
dark liquid. That what's
That is a dummy load.
Okay.
It's not a bottle then, it's a.
No,
No, it's a dummy load.
dummy load. Okay.
It just looks weird with the cap on it.
Yeah.
It's I get to play with that
Okay,
SDR radio. a little bit.
simulates the antenna load of
Yeah.
the circuit.
Well, now with the dummy load on there, I won't feel like I'm blowing it up if I accidentally key up and transmit.
Won't be able to receive anything,
Won't be able to receive anything either.
but the antenna tuner is getting there. I got the toroid wound and mounted. I'm getting the circuit board mounted.
We gotta get the 40-meter antenna up at your house.
Yeah. Yes, and you can run that without the antenna tuner, actually.
Should be,
But we gotta get the
it should be pretty close on 40-meter with that antenna.
yeah. Need to get the cat working.
There's something weird about the timing on it. Apparently they're using the same pins that they use for the screen with the serial input, and then the screen goes weird, and then it says that it's on 0 frequency all the time. So it's a timing thing.
Now, we talked about them changing the frequency of the processor. Okay. Does it pass audio, or is that not in the?
Not. You need some sort of streaming thing, like a chat, like a voice chat deal to do the audio.
Oh, okay.
That shouldn't be too hard to set up, actually.
Yeah.
It's getting the cat to, when you're flipping through stations or whatever, to stop resetting everything to 0 megahertz.
Yeah, that might help.
So I've read the forum posts, and somebody has posted some timings. I just haven't had a chance to try them. to see if their timings work with our thing, because that forum seems to be in general about all of them, not about a specific one.
Yeah.
So
There'll be groups of
In-
it.
in general, it seems like it's suffering from the same timing thing that they're talking about, because it's resetting the display and going to 0 megahertz.
Mhm.
Ah, Vicente. Of course, you drink coffee, so if it was a Pepsi can, that would be different. It's just a pen holder, though.
I have something special here.
Oh, it's a pencil holder.
Wow.
That is going to turn into a nifty Arduino case, isn't it?
So where'd you get that, Vicente?
I don't know. I think I saw it in Target 2 years ago. It was like $3 or I don't remember. I just saw it and say, okay.
Is there a tag on the back? Is there a tag on the back there?
I need it. You see, I need it because I have it full all the time.
Yeah.
My Batman car collection is almost done. I think I'm down to 15 cars.
15.
I need 15 more cars to complete the mainline collection. And then I've got to work on the Walmart collection.
I was in Walmart today, and there are no cars, no what Batman
No
stuff.
Hot Wheels at all, I know.
No,
Chris-
all
Christmas
disappeared.
wiped them out.
Yeah, everything. There's nothing there.
So what? They just sold them all for Christmas or what?
No toys, no toys in
There's
Walmart.
very few toys,
Yeah.
either at Walmart or Meijer. Yeah, it's pretty
It's
empty.
sold out everything.
What about this rumor that Toys R Us is restarting up again?
I've not heard that one.
Yes.
I heard Radio Shack was coming back,
You're
Yeah.
joking.
sort of.
You know what?
What I've read is they have, an investment firm has bought the name Radio Shack and they're turning it into a cryptocurrency company.
Really?
Yes, I have no idea what Radio Shack has to do with cryptocurrency, but
That is bizarre. Well, it used to be, didn't it used to be Tandy?
Yeah,
And they-
Tandy Radio Shack.
Candy Radio
They
Shack.
had two parts.
But the division, computer division, right?
It depends on who you ask, because if you were in England, they called it Tandy. They didn't call it Radio Shack, they called it Tandy. But here in the States, Tandy was the computer division.
But they also had a craft store. The Tandy craft store. It was like a, oh, I don't know,
Michael's.
Hobby Lobby or something.
Hobby
Like,
Lobby or Michael's. Or,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
but here in the States, Tandy was the computer division of Radio Shack.
Mm.
So it was either Tandy Radio Shack is how you usually saw it. Every now and then you would see it Radio Shack Tandy.
But now Radio Shack is working online, right? You can buy stuff from them online.
I don't think so.
I
don't
believe
know if
you
that's
can.
true anymore.
Huh?
After the investment group bought them, I'm not sure that that's true.
Let
You
me,
you could up to a few months ago.
yeah, they were working. So let me check.
Well, the problem I had with Radio Shack was towards the end of their life, they became basically a phone store.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, I mean, if you went in there and asked about, you know, where are your photodiodes or whatever, the guys didn't know anything. But if you ask them for a phone, they were all over you.
This is the page of Radio Shack now,
Yep.
bringing free to covers.
That is what I have,
And what happened? What happened with the stuff?
the, who knows?
What? At the store, here, store,
Echo corner on.
store. Yeah, you can buy stuff here.
There's some stuff.
Yeah.
There's some stuff.
So that's a different Radio Shack.
Well, they have many of the stuff of the former Radio Shack. This is an investment of a group of investors that bought the brand.
Yeah, you gotta figure they gotta get rid of all that inventory from somewhere, somehow.
You can choose hobby and do it yourself, electronics, home and office, batteries, mobile accessories, computers.
Yeah, they were always the battery store. They always had every kind of weird battery you could think of.
Battery of the month. Go
Yep.
in there and get a free battery.
Yep.
When they had computers, they had proprietary stuff though. When they started computers,
Yeah.
yeah, it was proprietary. It was
The
crap.
model 100. Batteries.
It wasn't as proprietary as you would think, because most of it was rebranded Casio
yeah.
or NEC or
Yeah,
something.
they used to
You just
do
didn't realize it was rebranded because they also changed the case and they changed a couple of other things about it.
Yeah.
Sharp.
Didn't you have to
Sharp
buy-
computers?
When they had floppies, didn't you have to buy their brand of floppies or whatever it was?
No, you could buy any floppy.
Okay.
Anything would work with it. They wanted you to buy their stuff because of course they want you to buy their stuff.
Wheel.
They always, when I had the Model 100, all I had was the cassette drive for it, and they always wanted you to buy their cassettes because they claimed their cassettes were better than everywhere else. And as long as they were metal tapes, it didn't matter.
Everything is expensive.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just like the old, they were too expensive.
It's Radio Shack. What do you expect? Do you really want it to be cheap?
I bought two Stay 150 or whatever, the cheaper stereo receivers, but you know, the mid-70s, and they were a big deal, you know, in the early, and then by the late 70s, they were overpriced and people were beating them at their own game. In the 80s, when did they go out? In the 2000?
About 2010.
Okay.
Yes.
Or no,
More.
2015.
Yeah, after 12.
Because I know when we bought the house here in Milford, there was still an active Radio Shack store here in Milford. It was mostly phones, but it nonetheless was a Radio Shack, and then it became a Radio Shack Sprint, if I recall correctly. And then it, all of a sudden, one day there was a big paper thing across, you know, out of business, gone, whatever. I think it's a Mexican restaurant now.
most of the stores that said Radio Shack Sprint on them, most of them just dropped the Radio Shack after Radio Shack closed and just became Sprint stores. So
Well, I'll tell you, this one certainly did not. This one dropped everything and had just a big paper banner across said out of business.
most of the Sprint stores.
I bought a lot of switches when they closed. I bought a lot of stuff. A lot.
Yes,
I remember.
yes.
There's, is that Troy?
Troy,
He's a handsome dog.
yeah, he asking for food.
You can
Radio
tell he's begging.
Shack.
You can tell he's begging.
Yeah.
Radio Shack was very good store.
Peanuts.
Yeah, they would bring you stuff, or they sold stuff that you could only get in Japan here in the States, and they did it at a reasonable cost at one time. And then, you know, import-export rules changed and stuff became cheaper, but Radio Shack still thought
Yeah.
they could sell stuff for more expensive money,
Yeah.
which was their downfall because they didn't change with the times, really.
Well, Radio Shack was useful for emergencies, you know, but now Amazon delivery in one day.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Twice this week, I was looking for stuff in China, the stuff that cost like $6, and I bought 5 in Amazon for $6. I bought 5 sensors, and they deliver it next day. So Amazon is selling really cheap, more than China in many items.
Well, I think a lot of the Chinese manufacturers have started having Amazon stock their stuff in the US.
They have a stock here because they deliver. I mean, sometimes it's faster to just to buy a resistor back than to go to Derco here in Cincinnati, you know.
Yeah. Hey, Vicente, I think that you're abusing the dog by not giving him more peanuts.
No, he knows that it's a
He already gobbled up the ones you put on the floor.
But
Oh, yeah.
I spread in the carpet, and he
vacuumed
all them. Yeah,
You don't need a vacuum with him. He'll vacuum it up.
no, he ate everything. He's begging all the time.
He's a spoiled dog.
Nobody's paying any attention.
What happened? No.
It's a nice coat, a beautiful coat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
No.
so Leroy, are you trying to say goodbye or what?
Yeah, we gotta put stuff away.
Time to go.
Hey,
It's
Gail
time
in
to
the back.
go.
Okay.
See
Well,
everybody next week.
take care. We'll see
See you next
see,
year.
see
That's right.
everybody
Happy
in
New Year.
22
Next year.
Yeah.
Woo!
next year.
All right.
Bye.
Feliz
Bye.
Año Nuevo.
Take care.
Yeah.